How's everybody doing? So tonight I'm gonna bring up Francisco Bueno on. I had him earlier with his fighter Carlos, but I'm gonna do like a solo interview with Francisco because he has a long story of his own from the early '90s as a fighter in California, and fighting his way up to Pride and things like that. So Francisco's got a lot of experience and knowledge, and for people that are going to watch this now or watch it later, if you don't already follow me, you can follow me, or you can subscribe, as I usually put these on YouTube for people to watch at later times. Oh, Susie. So here in a few minutes I'll be bringing Francisco on.
Should be having them on any minute now. And Susie, look forward to having you on here in the future. Should be good. And if you guys have any questions you want to ask Francisco, you just feel free to put them in the comments there. It should be ready in a moment. Susie, how you doing? I'll come back here in just a moment. Okay, so here's Francisco now. Francisco, sorry, accept your invite. Hold on a second. Yeah, Francisco, how you doing?
Hey, Todd, how are you today?
I'm good. How are you?
Can you hear me good?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Right. So let me go
Yeah,
a
I
little
got you.
bit in to watch the fights. So let me go to the gym in the back here, so we can talk better.
Yeah. So it's good to see you here so we can kind of talk about your story, because we were more talking about Carlos last time.
Yeah. Now it's much better. I can hear it very good.
Okay.
We had to actually buy a great facility. Look at that.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So you can just do private training with Carlos now.
Yeah, exactly. We just finished training. Man, it's great. I love the weather here. I love the place. It's unbelievable.
Okay, so as we're kind of bringing you in here, I wanted to kind of introduce you to the people here that are watching. So maybe you could talk a little bit, maybe introduce yourself.
Yeah, my name is Francisco Bueno. I'm long away in this business in MMA. Of course, like a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, they start my career. And then after I came to America, did a lot of boxing. You know, I was one of the first Brazilians around. I was 1996. I was here. So that's a long way, Todd. And thank you for the opportunity to be here. You know, your show is great. We all talk about that. You know, things that is unbelievable, like old school. You know, we hear MMA is growing so much because people like you to feed our business.
And, you know, so I wanted to kind of talk about, and I appreciate you taking the time to do this, obviously, and, you know, the kind words you're saying for my show, and I appreciate all that. I wanted to kind of talk about when you first came to California.
Yeah, that was great, man. I was, you know, as a kid, I was 23 years old, very hungry. You know, I was a Brazilian champion in Jiu-Jitsu. And I come, you know, like to conquer the world, you know, like that desire for any kid in Brazil, became a fighter. And I was here, you know, actually I was in LA. Right now I'm in Las Vegas. I was in LA. It was amazing, amazing experience. They opened a school for me, you know, and then I have a great stories, even with the Machados, you know, when I get to the States, I start challenging everyone. So I didn't care. So I call him up. Who is the best guy here in Jiu-Jitsu? They said, oh, there's a Riga Machado. So let's put that fight together. You know, so I get a call from Kim Hickson's wife. You know, so we set up that fight. So, and the day of the fight, actually 3 days before the fight, we had like a lot of people talking things. Back in the days, we were Brazilians, so we used to take care of things in the streets. So I bump him in the street. So we get a kind of, you say, hey, you know what? Let's do this right now. So if you want to go, we go to his school. And then, you know, we take care of things over there. So it was amazing, man. It was an amazing journey. Actually, that fight didn't happen, you know. And they tried to put his brother, Jean-Jacques Machado, and didn't happen also. Like he said, the whole family was hurt when they supposed to fight me at that weekend and the Hickson Gracie's tournament. And after that, the name grew a little bit. You know, I've been around some jiu-jitsu schools, training, tried to find some sparring. And then, man, that was amazing. Back in the days, I had my school in Downey and then Bellflower, and then also in Marina Del Rey at that time in LA. Taught every day, guys from wrestling, from boxing, just jumping in and challenging. Like, hey, I want to see what's up with the Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. So, man, that's unbelievable. Even McKee, you know, AJ McKee, dad's Antonio McKee. Mm-hmm. He was one of those guys that came in to my school like, hey, I want to see that because I went to Royce School in Torrance and I didn't see anything in Jiu-Jitsu. So, say, hey, I'm going to give you welcome, you know. So he stepped into the mat. You know, it was funny because he couldn't understand what's going on with him. He was stepping all over the place, maybe 10 times in 5 minutes. And then I become like a, you know, like a reference in Jiu-Jitsu in the area. So it was beautiful. The first like 3 months, I had like maybe almost 400 students. But I didn't understand too much the business in America at that time. At that time, I want to make every one of those 400 students a champion. And it doesn't work like that, you know. So I had hard training, hardcore every day. So, you know, it was amazing, Todd. Just, I miss that a lot. It has changed a lot. I'm here in Vegas with Carlos. So right now it's pretty much different. The business, of course, is all about the money, you know. And what I did, it was about loving fighting, you know. I just love the sport.
Now, when you were coming to America, who were you representing? I mean, Who was involved with getting you over to the U.S.?
That I was a fighter under a Nova União. Actually, at that time, it didn't exist. Nova União it was André Pederneiras, was my professor, my jiu-jitsu professor, of course. And the time that I came here, there was a guy. He used to be a Marco Rua's manager. His name is Marco Jara. Rest in peace. And it was amazing, you know. He brought me here, and every weekend, Todd, he took me to underground fights. You know, like Chico, you gotta submit that guy in 10 seconds, so you're gonna get famous here. So we have a lot of good experiences. San Pedro, like a very bad area to fight some guys, kind of in the hood. So he one of the guys that brought me here, and then I'm very thankful for him. You know, it just give me amazing experience for my career and to be the fighter and the coach that I am right now.
Now, what were some of those fights like? Because I know you had mentioned some of that before, some of these off the books fights.
Yeah, it was funny, man. We back in the days, I remember Marco. He took me to it looks like kind of garage, you know, like a very weird area. You know, there's some guys, of course, a bare knuckle. They ready to fight, you know, but they couldn't fight. You know, they just can throw punches. And then for me, it was easy, you know, like take the guy down and just the ground control. That back in the days, they had no idea what jiu-jitsu means, you know. So, but I remember one time I got a very strong guy, like amazing, very strong. Remember Kimo? Remember Kimo? Like the guy back in the days? The guy looks like him. I got the same strength of Kimo. So I mounted the guy standing up with me. I'm start getting tired. We're talking about maybe 25 minutes straight, you know, like back in the days, even in Vale Tudo, no holds bar. There was one round of 30 minutes, and there was a draw, then one more round of 15 minutes. So it was crazy. It was very crazy. I couldn't submit the guy, actually. I was very tired, very tired. And, man, Marco started screaming over there to step in because he saw that I was getting very tired. He stopped the fight. So he pulled me on the side so I can catch the breath. And then, man, that was a great move. He did it. He stopped everything with screaming, like was very flashy. He was a type of guy like that. And it was amazing. I came back fresh, and I submit the guy with the armbar. That was my specialty. So, man, it was crazy things, man. I remember. But the craziest thing ever with McKee, AJ McKee's dads, he brought some wrestlers at the time. The people very like mean, and they didn't believe in jiu-jitsu. So after that day, I bet they believe it. They believe it a lot. So actually, he wrote that in an interview with Black Belt Magazine. No. It was Grappling Magazine back in the days. So so many great times, so many special, you know, moments that I lived in America. And I'm going to do it again. Now, actually, going around with Carlos, man, training a lot of places here, and the people, they can enjoy and understand our style.
So this was kind of like a second go around for you, so to speak.
Exactly, man. Totally. You know, we go here to a wrestling facility. We start like doing a lot of things with Carlos, great like a Division One, and getting ready for the next one. And I'm jumping in. You know, I'm training with Carlos. I'm training with all those guys. You know, it's just like you feel alive again. You know, it's amazing.
Now, who were you? I know they had opened a school for you, but who were you training with at that time back in California?
Oh, back in California, I trained a lot of guys, man. Dan Henderson, I went to Cerritos College, and he was there. He was the second coach over there. And then we were training together over there. It was amazing. There was a Russian back in the days, a wrestler, a world champion. Also training so many people. Tito Ortiz in Huntington Beach. We did like some training. And one guy, people don't know too much about him, but his name is Gregor Kurian. He's a wrestler. Actually, he trained at the time of DuPont with Mark Schultz and Dave Schultz. You know, the guy was amazing, man. He was like one of the best wrestlers I ever seen, like an incredible coach. And he trained me very well in wrestling. And also LA boxing. I've been around, like I spar with like guys with Michael Grant, Francois Botha, James Toney. I got a very funny story with James Toney. That guy, I lost my mind with that guy. So that was a good one also. We can talk about it.
Well, I mean, yeah, Michael Grant and those guys are all, I mean, what do you feel like, how much time do you spend training with them?
Actually, I spent a lot of time because Victor Hernandez, he runs LA Boxing back in the days. A lot of guys, or even Mike Tyson went there. A lot of guys, been training in LA Boxing at that time. And I was the Brazilian crazy, I just put my gloves, no helmets, no mouthpiece, and just go, So one time they took me to a wild card with Freddie Roach, and then I sparred with James Toney. Man, I couldn't even hit one jab in that guy. He beat the crap out of me, and he started talking so many things. I tried to take my gloves out, I can't box this guy, so I'm going to do MMA here, vale tudo. So people jump into the ring, was amazing. James Toney, Mike Tyson, Michael Grant, Francois Botha, the South African. I spar with him like maybe 6-7 times in LA boxing, and it was a great experience. I was a pro boxing. I did some pro boxing fights. I did 8 fights. I got eight knockouts, and at that time we're looking to become a good name in boxing, but I had to move back to Brazil, some family issues, and I let the boxing go. But today, like I said, like you told me, right now I kind of revived those things with Carlos. He's been thrilling that journey, but I make the shortcut for him to get there. So I'm very happy with that.
Now, I will ask you one thing about Carlos. Like, how you're having a lot of these Russian wrestlers coming in the UFC, and this seems to be a difficulty for a lot of guys to deal with those guys. How do you kind of maybe deal with that problem, the wrestling ability of these guys?
Todd, what we do is like this. We train very smart, actually. I take Carlos to an incredible wrestling facility. So they have maybe 80 or 90 guys at the same time in the wrestling facility. It's Initiate Wrestling. AT is amazing. ATN here in Vegas. So what I do like I say, okay, Carlos, you're going to do 5 minutes just defense. You're going to sprawl and use your hips all day long for 5 minutes. And then he get out of the 5 minutes, and there's a mix waiting for him. So we can mix that boxing style with wrestling. And then after that, you get 5 more minutes on the bottom. And I talked to the wrestler, say, you go ahead and try to control him. He's going to have like a 5 or 10 seconds to escape. So that's what I give him, very like a surgical. So he's been working a lot, I'm telling you. We went this week and got some good Russian wrestlers. I'm telling you, Carlos been very effective, very effective. You're getting this kid ready for the next one, so I can't wait to see it.
That's going to be an LFA, the next one?
Actually, we're just talking about that. I'm here at the house of a friend. He used to be in the Olympic team of wrestling and boxing. Teddy Concepcion, he's a really nice guy. he set up guys from Bellator to spar with Carlos, some Russians. And, I talked to the matchmaker of LFA. Actually, today I just did it. He's going to fight in April for sure. Either LFA or either another promotion around here. So, and I believe so. One more win, we've been knocking the UFC's door with a lot of power. A lot of power.
Now, I kind of wanted to go back to you as far as I remember you talking about how, you were kind of representing yourself in a way. Why was that? Was it just something you wanted to do it that way, or?
Yeah, Todd, I was the type of kid, my lifestyle in Brazil was pretty much, I was looking for training, for sparring. Back in the days, my ability came very fast in jiu-jitsu. And I said, I have to find something else, I have to understand the game a little bit better. So I have to go and just try, my life in America. People that knew me said, you're not going to, you cannot do it. After a month, you're going to go back to Brazil. And I stayed for 6 or 7 years in America doing my things, I just feel bad because I didn't have a direction for a trainer, a coach, a mentor to say, hey, Francisco, that's not the time. That's not the right time. That's not the right fight. Go here, go there. I make a schedule. So I was a kid doing everything. I schedule my fights. I scheduled the airplanes, the airfares. I didn't care who was gonna fight. I just gonna show up and fight. Like I said, a lot of underground fighting for me. And then I guess you cannot turn a very high level pro if you don't have the right direction. If your emotional body has to, continue with your physical and of course the spiritual. I think you had to be intrigued, it's one whole, to be a whole, and then you can go and face your ghost. If you don't face yourself, it's gonna be tough, to get a higher level.
Someone asked a question, but it's in Portuguese, so I couldn't read it. But but you had other guys, you said, like Joe Moreira and some of these other guys that you knew. Why did you not link up with them?
I was doing good. Like I said, my school was doing really good at that time. I just want to fight. I use my in a good way my students to train and roll for my fights, because I have guys from sambo, from wrestling. Actually, I stole a lot of Gracie students. I love that. So they come here and say, hey, here you're gonna learn the real stuff. I'm not hiding anything. So I did that. I was always open book. I never hold anything back for my students. So that was a choice. I felt like I could go by myself. And I didn't have, like I said, Todd, no one that I felt was a complete in the game. That's the problem with people don't understand. If you have one head coach, they understands all the game, like the boxing, the wrestling, the kickboxing, the yoga, the mental issue. If you have that, hold to that. Because otherwise, it's going to be a war, ego war. The jiu-jitsu wants to show the jiu-jitsu. The boxing wants to show the boxing. The Muay Thai wants to show the Muay Thai. Even the conditioning training wants to show the condition. So it's not about the trainers. It's about the fighter. So the one who's going to get into the octagon and close that fence is going to be the fighter. So I didn't have that. So I go to the LA boxing. The guy said, hey, that Brazilian, look how hard he can hit. He's going to knock everyone out. I go to the wrestling. Oh, he's amazing takedowns. He's amazing defense. Looks his ground game. So I did it by myself. unfortunately, like in my mind, I didn't achieve the place I could go achieved because I didn't have the mindset in the right direction. So that's what I'm trying to do with Carlos. Right now, man, the game is very professional. So we've been around, we're doing a lot of things here.
So you think that, you were saying when you have multiple coaches, which a lot of these guys do, you don't feel that it's ideal to have that.
I understand because it's not a lot of people knows the standing up in the ground. So they have to understand each position they are. So like I said, I see guys, they have a one head coach, and if he doesn't understand something, has to bring someone to the party. So, now you're like, I'm going to feed you with the ground game. I'm going to feed you with like a boxing game or conditioning training. Even also people that knows the way to put in a fight. So it's just in those days, you don't have to be good. Good is not enough. Todd, I can talk about this kid, Charles Johnson, the last one that Carlos fought. The kid was amazing. He did a great fight. It was his day. And after that, I don't see him sign with anyone. So the game is very rough and tough. So I guess you put the package together. Otherwise, you ain't go far.
Yeah, I mean, he won the title, but I guess nobody picked him up after that. I mean, that was a great fight. I think it was the best fight of the year so far.
Me too, definitely.
But
it was back and forth. Yeah.
It's interesting that you're saying that no one picked him up, or maybe even both guys for that matter. I mean, it was such a great fight. You could have probably took both guys into the UFC off that fight.
Definitely. Yeah. I hope you go far. I wish the best for him. He was amazing at that night. Like I said, man, I just love the game. I'm not here to pick it up Carlos and said he's untouchable. No, I just love the game. I want to see the best get into the right place, right spot at the right time. And it's just not the UFC out there, man. There's
right.
Another way to go too. But it's just a matter of work and regroup and put it together, the best package.
Now, what's it like being in Vegas as opposed to like California or maybe even Brazil?
Man, it's just funny. I was the other day I went to the UFC, like Apex. This is the capital of fighting right now, man. This is the center of everything. Everything happens in Vegas. And now, like that saying, like everything happens in Vegas, stay in Vegas. No, everything happens in Vegas. It just got the entire world. Like people is watching you. You can go to some gyms over here, like we did with Carlos this week, and they get to know you, and say, you know what, the world is up, So I bet what Carlos did it this week is gonna go, with a lot of places. So being in Vegas is amazing. I love this place, man. It's just the place we at right now. It's a very quiet place, but if you want noise, you're 15 minutes away. You get a lot of gyms. I was worried about the wrestling, but it's we're well fit. A lot of guys, amazing wrestlers, and boxers also. We had a week of playing right now. A lot of incredible sparring of boxing. So we had our hands are full. We're in the right place. If you're here, if you have the talent, if you work hard, it's gonna happen.
But I mean, are there like guys like at the gyms looking for fighters? Is there anything like that, like scouts or anything?
Oh, definitely. Even for sponsors, there's some shows going on here, Tough Enough, and then you at the gym, and then you look to the side, there's some guys sitting and looking the training. They want to talk, about the fighter, what's going on here. Some companies. Actually, we have a meeting this week, a great company. So we see what's going to happen. it's a lot of opportunities, man. Like, welcome to America.
So it's different than like California was even back then, you know. But I haven't even
Yeah.
been to Vegas, which is hard to believe. I need to go. You know, I had been to Japan. I lived in Japan and Hawaii, but I had never even went to Vegas yet for a fight, which is kind of hard to believe.
Oh, man, you gotta come here, man. So you gotta promise me when Carlos, gonna fight for the title in UFC, you gotta be in Vegas.
Yeah,
You gotta cover that.
yeah.
You gotta cover that.
I'm gonna start going for sure. But
Yeah, man. Good.
now, are you the only coach for Carlos? Is that kind of what you were talking about, where he's only kind of getting input from you as far as the training goes?
Yeah, that's the thing. What we're doing right now, I always train Carlos for everything. I train him in boxing, in wrestling, jiu-jitsu, conditioning. Even we talk a lot. I think the human being has to be fed with emotional and mental preparation for any type of thing. Doesn't matter what. So, yes, I'm the only coach of Carlos. But what we're doing right now, I'm calling some boxers, coaching. I'm talking coach, and to see how they're gonna work with Carlos, so they can understand the game, the boxing game for MMA. Wrestling is the same thing. So even jiu-jitsu. So if you do jiu-jitsu, pure jiu-jitsu, you might not be welcome in MMA. You're gonna get hit. If you do boxing, just boxing, you're gonna be taken down. If you do wrestling, you're gonna get hit. So you gotta put that together. You got to take the best of boxing, the best of wrestling, the best of jiu-jitsu, the best of Muay Thai or striking, or no matter what, and put it together. And not a lot of guys, I don't trust in I don't want to go for the ego stuff. I don't want to have like a huge name of boxing, because we're not talking about boxing. We're talking about MMA. So what I'm trying to do right now, I'm just trying to set up the right places and the right guys to make it better. I want to see from outside. I want to sit in a chair and look Carlos doing mitts. I want to see him in the chair and look doing sparring and not be involved too much, because you got to have another vision, another angle, and bring the best for him. Like, as I said, it's not about me right now. It's about Carlos.
But I mean, how do you select some guys that you think would be good choices for that?
Yeah, what I'm doing right now, Todd, I'm going to different facilities. I'm going to Fight Capital. We can find boxing spar over there. This week, we're going to go to Mayweather's. And I see what's going on with the coaches over there. I want to take a look. How do they work? The distance, everything is important. The vibe, the energy. So, it's just, you see if it works. I'm hopefully, you can find the right people at the right time for everyone. Like as I said, I don't separate things. When we talk about MMA, we do it all together. There's a one distance. If you do the wrong kick, you're gonna be taken down. If you do the wrong guard, you're gonna get ground and pound. There's no mistake on that. And right now, the next step, we cannot do any mistakes no more. We gotta go in and out, be a killer. Feel the killer instinct that he does have. There's a lot of people around. Todd is a great talent, but they don't have the killer instinct. Carlos does, and we talk a lot about that in the mindset. We do a lot of mindset before the training, after the training. So we're ready to go. We're ready to go. So I'm still in a search for the right boxer, coach, and it means like wrestling. We get a lot of guys like amazing. He's doing a lot of wrestling, and but even the wrestling, I'll be outside of the mat and talk to him like, hey, you gotta put your head in a different position. Watch the choke. If you put your head outside, you're gonna be choked. You're gonna be guillotine or arm triangle. So I gotta be around, man. And my style is like this. You're doing wrestling for 10 minutes, you got to do boxing for 10 minutes. You got to do jiu-jitsu for 10 minutes. Be very intense and effective. You just don't roll for nothing. You just roll to be effective. You got to finish the game. I was, man, for me, it's like this. 0 or 100. No middle, just not, you got to go full. You come here not to be a mediocre. You come here to be the best. So you're searching right now the best way to go. And Todd, I guarantee you, is going to bring a very good stuff for the party in the next fight.
Now, is there some pressure, though? Like you were saying, you can't really have mistake, because he didn't win the last fight. Do you feel pressure to win this next one, or?
Actually, I don't. I feel like we're going to face the truth, Either way, I'm very, simple right now, If he goes to a fight that he can't win, he doesn't deserve to be in the top events or being the top fighters. So it's time to prove, it's time to be at a war. It's trying to be like a extraordinary. No mistakes, no excuses. Just go forward. Just go grab what you need, what you want. And that's going to be the whole different game. So it's a mindset. Like as I said, being a fighter or entrepreneur, whatever you want to be, a lawyer, you got to have a mindset. You got to be a killer. You got to finish, And we're preparing him right now for that. Like I said, we just finished, today's Sunday. He's doing a lot of mindset today and training and positioning. So, I'm learning a lot too, how to be a coach. I have a long way to be a better coach. I want to be my best version, to be the best coach that I can be for Carlos and for a lot of guys. I have a Michel Borges also. He's a boxer. He's an Olympic boxer. The kid is amazing. He can hit. He can move. He's learning ground games. He's learning how to block takedowns. And I'm ready to bring him to America, so he can do a lot of damage here. Definitely. I have 100% sure. And that kid is going to be something else.
Oh, he's in Brazil as well?
He's in Brazil. He's in Rio. So I'm getting ready. I'm talking to some people here, sponsors, and I want to bring him down. So he's a heavy guy. He's a heavy hitter. He just lost for the Olympic champion, for the Cuban, a very tight fight. And he fought the last fight that I took him MMA, amateur. He submit the guy. He's an Olympic boxer and submit the guy. So he got a lot of skills. He has a mindset, has no trouble to go into the gym, wake up in the morning and do the job, So people like that's, hire me up so that I can do my work.
Yeah, so you want to maybe have one more fighter besides Carlos there with you in Vegas? Is that what you're looking to do?
Yes, exactly. I'm not the type of guy that wants to have an army, like 100 fighters and just, No. For me, like I said, that's not a money issue. That's what I love, That's what I love to do. I help people and make a difference and make it to another level. If you are alive, man, you have to be your best version, no matter what you do. Be your best version. If you're a mother, if you're a father, if you're a trainer, be your best. Breathe, think, focus. Bring to the best as you can to the party, no matter what you do. So I'm here in Vegas. We're just very happy with Carlos. And we're going to make it. Todd, we're going to make it. Believe me. We're going to make it 100% sure, man. So I'm going to bring Michel, hopefully soon. He'll be here. And people from Thriller, the boxing promotion, they already got in touch with him. So we'll see what's going on next for him. So, but I believe in the MMA skills that kid has. So definitely, I don't want to work out for a lot of people. I don't do that. Because for me, it's not about the quantity, it's the quality. And I go deep. I'm not just go to the physical. I want to go here. If you have this, you're ready to deliver the best version of yourself.
Yeah, I wanted to talk about that a little bit because I know you touched on it last time we talked about how you kind of went through some tough times after the Vovchanchyn fight. Maybe you could talk a little bit about that from the standpoint of a fighter and kind of,
Great.
some lessons you learned about it.
Yeah, great question, Todd. I was a kid at that back in the days that I was just ready for a fight any minute, anytime, anywhere. I don't care, like 3 in the morning, 2 in the morning. I breathe fighting. I just love it. I love the challenge. I lived that in LA for 6 years. Every day was a new challenge for me. So when they call me to fight Vovchanchyn is the #1 heavyweight at the time. In a grappling magazine, I remember a black belt magazine. I was the #2 actually. After I fought Pride and I knocked I knocked him out. And the guy I respect a lot, Federico Lapenda. He was one of the guy. He's a legend. He make it happen for a lot of fighters, promotions. He told me, I remember at the Cheesecake Factory, we went to dinner. He said, Chico, it's not the right time to face that Russian, man. I built that Russian. So just wait a little bit more. Say, I'm going to destroy that little man. I'm going to, like I said, I was a kid. I wasn't ready mentally to do that. So it was a big learning, Todd. After that loss, I pretty much understand because I haven't lost. I didn't lost before that. I wasn't, I did a lot of underground fighting. I did like IVC, WVC, Mecca, Cage Wars, Pride. So it was a surprise for me. And I didn't have the emotional support, to be, kid, one loss is one loss. So let's move forward. And let's regroup, let's rebuild. So I didn't have that because I was my coach. I was with 23, 24 years old. I was my coach already. I was get my car, go find some wrestling club, wrestling facility in LA, some boxing. Todd, that was a funny stuff, man. I grabbed my car, go to Inglewood or Compton in LA, like the hood, get my gloves, and look for a spot. There's sparring here, and people say, these Brazilians are nuts or what? So I've been I got hurt, but I was happy. Get into my car, go heading back home with a headache, a lot of punches in the face. But after that loss, it did change, I won the world title in WVC, the heavyweight title, but I wasn't the same. I was broke inside, When you are broke inside, man, you got to stop, regroup, figure things out, and I didn't do that. So, but right now, I just, look in my past, looking back, I learned, I've learned, and that's why to be the best coach that I want to be, I have to give that shortcut to Carlos. So that's what I'm doing right now. And he just lost. So it's beautiful because it was a trigger point for me, After the loss, I didn't expect that. Right now, he's as a coach. So I was hurt. I was really hurt for a week or so. And then I had to regroup my mind and talk to him and feel his vibe, his energy. Say, man, kid, what's up? You ready to go to the next step? Or you're going to block like I did? Say, man, I'm ready. So if you're ready, I'm ready too. So, give me a hug and let's go for it, man. Let's build that. Let's take what yours. And I believe you. So it was beautiful. It was a good moment for me because I can look back and give me a hug to myself the day that I lost. Back in the days, one lost was a big deal. Today, you see, Conor McGregor, he lost 4 or 5 fights in a row. The kid making more money than before. So it's not about losing or winning is about how you feel inside, you know? Like, how can life's gonna hit you hard, man. But if you can take a punch inside and regroup, that's the true champion.
I want to ask you because you said you kind of when Lopinda told you maybe you shouldn't fight Vovchanchyn, you were really confident you would beat him. How do you can you see that in other people? You know, like did he try to stop you or say talk you? You know, because you were really confident. Did he just, you know, when you said you were going to beat him, did he just kind of forget about it? Can you sense that in other fighters that you're dealing with?
Totally, totally, man. I see like even with Carlos, I asked him like man, how much do you want to make that happen? But for yourself, not for the world, not to be an ordinary fighter that brags, grab the mic and say, hey, I'm the champion of the world or whatever. I'm going to do this and that. I'm going to make millions. No, no. How much do you really want? Like your heart, your soul. How much you're into that? And man, he gave me a right answer. That's why I picked that fight with so much sure that it's going to be great, you know. Actually, he did. He lost the fight. It was a great fight. And with other fighters also, I can see like I can tell right before the fight how much hungry and sure the fighter has because I've been there, you know. So it was a great lesson for me. So I know if doesn't exist, whatever it is, or yes or no. So what happened with me back in the days, I bring to the table right now, and I feel that same vibe, Todd, when we lost the last fight. I feel the same way, but we have each other right now, you know, and I wanted to make sure, look into his eyes, and I want to come out of his mouth, kid, how you feel right now? Are you ready? You want to throw the towel? What's going on? So it was an incredible moment, man. I feel like it's a big rescue for me also as a human being, as a coach, as a person.
Yeah,
It's teaching me a lot.
that's interesting. So looking back on it, like when Federico kind of tried to tell you not to take it, why do you think he didn't try to push more when you said, no, you're going to do it anyway?
I was I was a hard hat kid, man. I was like I was, man, I was training with people when I was doing very well at the gym. And when I went to that level, like I said, like by myself, most of it. And then he has a lot of experience. He did a lot of promotions, a lot of shows. He said, Chico, this guy is different, man. It's not the time, believe me. He said, come on, man, you're bragging that. I'm going to beat the crap out of him in the next, like 2 minutes. It's not gonna, you know, it's going to be enough. So he said, no, man, trust me. I built that guy. I've been around. I've been to Russia. I saw that guy fighting like many times. I was there. So it's not the right time for you, even for the business, you know. You can build yourself a little bit more. I say, hey, man, I'm not here for the business. I'm here for fighting. You know, that was my answer. I don't care about the money. You know, I really don't care about the money. Just, you know, just take me to Japan. Just let me fight this guy. If he's the best, I'm going to find him. You know, I don't care. Just for me, I just want to be there. You know, so immature, you know, no directions. But it's, you know, like as I said, Todd, no regrets. Everything happens for a reason in life. So I'm here right now, be the best coach for Carlos. You know, doing a great job here. I'm sure I'm doing that. And even for the schedule, everything, man. I do I cook for the kid, man. I cook in house. I watch his meals. You know, we just, you know, going for a running together. It's amazing. You know, it's a great relationship we got. We got an incredible bond. You know, even my son he's 8 years old, man. He's following us all over the place. I take him to the wrestling practice also. So it's been a joy. It's been amazing. It's been an incredible rescue being here in America again. And definitely going to have a great news, man. The journey has been so far so good.
I want to ask you one more thing. Why do you think it took a long time for you to find someone like Carlos? Because, I mean, you never left the sport, really, right? As far as, like, being around it.
Right, Todd. I was like, man, I'm very intense. Whatever I do, it's a lot of intensity, a lot of energy, you know. And a lot of fighters, a lot of guys that I train, some great guys, some awesome guys. I don't want to mention names. Those guys, like I took them to like a 8-0, 7-1, you know, 8-3, 8-2. But like as you asked me, it was a great question. I can see in their eyes after a loss, they're not gonna be the same. They're not gonna when something's broke inside, like as I said, if you don't pick up the parts and make the best bone ever and say, you know what, I'm gonna make this even better. And Carlos, so far, was the only one that had attitude, you know, to do that. Said, you know what, I'm gonna make this happen, man. I don't care. Just a bumps, like, you know, like those bump speed, you know, speed bump, you know. It was just a speed bump. So we can go to the next level even better. So he got that, you know, he has that. So that's make me hungry also, you know. It's not about me. I cannot have more desire than the proper fighter. I always tell that to Carlos. If there's one day that I have more desire to take you to a training, a jiu-jitsu, or boxing, or wrestling, or MMA, than you, I'm not going. I stay home. You go by yourself. Either way, 100% to be present in the moment, or I'm not going to be with you. Because you have this opportunity to be in America, you know, to fight in one of the best promotions in the world, to knock in the UFC's door, to have the best training partners, the best gyms, to the best, like the great food to eat. So this is a blast, you know. So he's you know, he understands that, Todd. So that's why it keeps me going, you know. That's why it keeps me going forward, moving forward, finding something every week, different partners to train wrestling, jiu-jitsu, boxing. So, man, I'm happy with that, man. I'm happy with that.
Now, as we're kind of closing the interview, is there anything that you would want to say at the end to people watching this? Or
Man, I hope like every guy, every fighter, even if you're not a fighter, if you're watching this, it sounds like a cliche, but hey, believe in yourself. Get out of the couch, make a difference. You know, if you have a son, if you have a best friend, if you have you know, even like a chef, no matter what, a boss, just give him a hug, do something different. Wake up tomorrow and say, you know what, I'm going to do this the best day of my life, no matter what I do. You know, I'm breathing. I have this opportunity to live and make a difference. I'm going to face my ghost, you know, no problem. I'm going to give me a great hug, you know, spread love everywhere, good vibration, you know, just be happy, man. Be happy. We are alive, you know, after it's a COVID, it's a war. Every day is a different stuff, man. So, you know, let's have be grateful for life, you know, be grateful for life and go search your dreams. You can do it. Just go forward. You know, believe in yourself, no matter what. You can have a speed bump. It's okay. It's a matter how hard and how much you want to make it. And I want to say thank you again, Todd. Anytime, man. I mean, it's glad to be in your show. You know, you're a legend. You're a stud. Thank you so much to feed our community, you know, to bring the old school back, And definitely we're going to be together soon. In April next month, Carlos, is heading for a fight. So I can wait. I can wait to talk again with you and all the followers over there, man. Guys, just go for your dreams, man. Believe it. Trust me, believe it.
All right, Francisco. Well, again, I just want to thank you for taking time to do this. You're always really gracious with your time and a great interview always. And, I just want to thank you for taking time to do this. And, yeah, I definitely would like to catch up with you and Carlos whenever he fights again.
Perfect. Perfect, Todd. You have a great week. And let's make a difference this week, man. No matter what,
Yes,
the
sir.
shine, the sun is for everyone. The rain is for everyone, man. So let's make a difference. Have a great week for everyone there, and hopefully you guys be your best version. No matter what you do, just be your best version, man. Go with a lot of hungry for life, Let's just be grateful. Thanks a lot, Todd. You take care, my friend.
You too. It was great talking to you.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Right.